This episode is the hardest one to tell, because the story of how a beloved hand surgeon was shot to death in an exam room in suburban Memphis is not mostly an opioid story. It is a mental health system story, and those two stories, if you listen carefully, are the same story. His name was Benjamin Mauck. He was 43 years old. He had been named one of the city's top doctors 2 weeks before he died. Dr. Benjamin Mauck specialized in the surgery of the hand, the wrist, and the elbow. Connolly named him one of Memphis's top doctors in 2023. Memphis Magazine published a feature on him just weeks before he died. He told that magazine he loved his specialty because, I'm a very detail-oriented person, and I really enjoy the complexity of hands. He worked at the Campbell Clinic, an orthopedic group founded in 1909, with 9 locations across Memphis and Mississippi. He also operated at Le Bonheur Children's Hospital. He was a faculty member at the University of Tennessee Health Science Center. Patients wrote after he died that he had given them back their hands. "He performed surgery on my left thumb," one of them posted. "Thanks to him, I'm sitting here with my left thumb." That is the kind of doctor we are talking about. Not abstract, specific. The kind whose work you can hold up in front of your own face. The kind whose patients, after he died, sat in their living rooms looking at their own hands and thought of him. Larry Pickens was 29 years old in July of 2023. According to police, he was a long-term patient of the Campbell Clinic. According to court filings, he had previously told police he had been diagnosed with schizophrenia and was not taking his medication. 6 days before he came to Collierville, Pickens had been the subject of 2 police calls in a single day at another Campbell Clinic location. Clinic staff said his behavior was unusual. They asked him to leave. He left. He came back. They called the police again. He left again. On the morning of July 11th, 2023, he arrived at the Collierville location. He sat in the waiting area for several hours. When Larry Pickens was brought back to the exam room, he pulled a handgun from his waistband and fired 3 times. Dr. Benjamin Mauck was struck in the neck, in the chest, and in the abdomen. He died at the scene. Pickens ran out of the clinic. He was arrested 5 minutes later on Poplar Avenue. He has been in the Shelby County Jail since, on a $1.2 million bond. More than 2 years after Dr. Mauck was killed, Larry Pickens has not yet stood trial. The reason is the same reason that runs through this series. The system has no functional way to handle a patient whose underlying condition is the very thing that brought him into contact with the medical world. Pickens's defense attorney says the facts are not in dispute. The question is whether Pickens is mentally competent to stand trial. The competency hearings have continued through 2024 into 2025. Evaluations have been disputed. The trial date remains uncertain. Here is what I am being careful about. I am not telling you what was happening inside Larry Pickens's mind. That is what the court is trying to figure out. But I can tell you what was on the public record before he ever walked into Dr. Mauck's exam room. A full decade of visibility. A 2014 domestic incident involving a fireplace utensil. A 2016 case. A 2022 call to police where he mentioned schizophrenia. 2 calls to police 6 days before the shooting, a reported altercation with a barber. That is not a confidential file. That is the public docket. This is not, in the strictest sense, a pain medication story. But the structural failure is the same. The same gap, a different wing. Preston Phillips, Todd Graham, Lindsay Overbay, Benjamin Mauck. Each killed because the system had no funded place to send a patient in crisis. Benjamin Mauck was killed allegedly by a man whose family and previous interactions with police had repeatedly indicated needed psychiatric care. You may be wondering why I'm including this episode. The argument I've been making is not only an argument about opioids. It is an argument about how American medicine handles patients in distress, when the answer they want is not the answer the system can give. On July 11, 2024, the Campbell Clinic held a moment of silence at every location. 7:30 in the morning, 90 doctors. His patients still send their thank yous. His partners still operate in the building where he was killed. The Mauck family is still waiting. 2 more questions. In your state, does Medicaid pay for ongoing psychiatric medication management at a rate providers can afford? And second, does any clinic have a binding requirement to share threat assessment information across its own network, or does it die at the desk? His name was Benjamin Mauck. He gave thousands of people back their hands. The system did not work.